What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and I have watched the first two episodes of Marvel's upcoming Disney Plus show, Secret Invasion. And I gotta say, it's actually quite a pleasant change-up of what we are used to getting from Marvel recently. Now, I've only seen the first two episodes, so I can't speak for the entire series, but I do have a lot of positive things to say. However, having said that, I don't think the show is going to necessarily be for everyone. And we'll dive into why I believe that and why I also think it's going to be a pretty great show with no spoilers. This is going to be a no spoiler review / reaction. And of course, when the series do release online, we'll go back to the watch parties like we used to do. It's been a while since we've had a Disney Plus show come out for Marvel Studios, but I am super excited to get back into them. Now, right away, I just want to talk about the quality of the show. If Marvel Studios is delaying everything, which we know that they have, if you check out our recent video, we talk about every new release date that Marvel just announced yesterday. They pushed a lot of projects back, including Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, both back 1 year, with the apparent reason being to focus on making better quality films and TV shows. And if that truly is the reason, and Secret Invasion is a good example of them focusing on quality, then I think that the MCU is in really great hands right now, and the direction they're going is really fantastic, because I do think that Secret Invasion is a step up from what we've gotten recently, with the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It very much feels like Captain America Civil War. You get the same vibe from it. And what I really like is that it actually puts a lot of realism into it. You feel some things from real life kind of bleeding into the show, not in a forced way, but in a sort of real, relatable way. In fact, the opening of the show talks about, and again, without giving anything away, but it kind of just makes you think, well, everyone can kind of be tracked right now, right? I mean, just because of our phones and the internet. Think about targeted ads that specifically target things that you are interested on based off of your browser history, what you've searched on the internet, etc. They paint that picture for you, but then take it even further. And I gotta say, the threat of the Skrulls to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to that world that all of our heroes live in, that threat is a lot bigger than we really perceived, I think. Even to people who might have read the Secret Invasion comics, I still think it hits a little differently because, of course, it is live action. And in a world where we have the Avengers in it, the Skrull may not seem like such a huge threat to everybody before going into the show, but going into the show, the first and second episode do show us that, no, they are indeed quite a very, very real threat, and are actually a threat to human existence as we know it. But it's not just saying that, it's making you feel that by how the show goes about portraying the threat. So right away, I think it starts off feeling very, very heavy. It's got a really great opening sequence that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy. And I gotta say, there are some twists and turns and some surprises in the first couple of episodes. Again, no spoilers, but there were some surprises that I truly was not expecting, and I'm still kind of waiting for it to turn back around again. I can't wait to watch the other episodes and figure out how it all ends, because right now I am genuinely curious as to how the story is going to play out with very specific characters and overall. You've got a lot of different characters in this, and what I love about this show so far is I actually am always questioning who is a Skrull. For example, there are plenty of times during both episodes where I'm like, Nick Fury, are you a Skrull? Is this a Skrull disguised as Nick Fury right now? Because sometimes you know, okay, this is the real Nick Fury, but then in a couple of other scenes, you're like, wait, is this Nick Fury or is it a Skrull? The same thing goes with Agent Hill. Sometimes you're like, okay, this is her. But sometimes you're like, oh, no, wait, it's a Skrull. And I really do want to give credit to them for this, because there are genuine parts throughout the entire episodes, both of them, where you truly don't know. Even when Rhodey comes in, you're like, wait, has Rhodey been a Skrull this entire time? The fact that you really don't know and are asking that question throughout this series is really, really cool to me. And that really draws me in. Now, I've got plenty of great things to say about this, but one thing I did want to talk about, like I mentioned, was this might not be for everybody, because it's not the typical Marvel superhero film. And it's a little bit slower. It is. There are some good action scenes. I really did enjoy them. There are some flashbacks that are really cool as well. But overall, the pace of this is a little bit slower because it's a little bit more heavy. So there's no Iron Man flying through the air. There's no Thor coming down from Asgard through the Bifrost or with his hammer. Hulk's not coming in to smash. And Nick Fury does kind of explain I'm not calling the Avengers. This is my fight. Plus, there is kind of a threat of calling in the Avengers, and Nick Fury explains this very well. I won't say exactly why, but basically there's a threat to kind of letting more people in on what exactly is going on, and the Skrull threat is a lot bigger, like I said, than everybody has thought. Even Rhodey, even the President of the United States, even Nick Fury himself didn't realize how big of a threat the Skrull actually are. And we've been theorizing about this for a while now. Imagine if the President of the United States was a Skrull. Imagine if a high military leader was a Skrull. Imagine if the leader of Russia, the leader of China, North Korea, imagine if all of these people were Skrull. Obviously, that would be a huge threat for the Skrull who actually want to take Earth for themselves. That is a huge threat to everyone else in the world. So the story is heavy, and the story is very intriguing, and it's really, really good. But if you're looking for that more fast-paced action all of the time, Tony Stark flying through the air, Iron Man shooting blasters, that's not what we're getting in this. It is definitely a spy espionage thriller, and I do really like it for what it is. For what they were going for, I do think it's pretty dang near perfect. Again, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, so I can't speak for the entire series, but I did really enjoy these first 2 episodes. And I do think we are seeing kind of a different side of the MCU, and a different side specifically of Nick Fury, which I did truly enjoy. He is a lot more vulnerable in this show than we have ever seen him before. And even some of the clips that have come out have shown that other people are kind of worried about him as well. Maria Hill is stating, "You don't really seem like you're up for this. You don't really seem like the old Nick Fury that I'm used to knowing." And in a way, he's kind of not. And they do a really great job at explaining why. And it's very realistic, as much as it can be for a world where superheroes exist and half of the population got snapped away by Thanos, and there are aliens secretly disguised as humans on the planet. But it's actually a really cool thing because it really makes you wonder. In the show, they tell you, oh yeah, this would be so far-fetched for aliens to be taking human shape, right? But they are. And I think they do a really excellent job of kind of making it relatable to real life a little bit. And one thing they did extremely well is the ending of the first episode and the second episode. You are sitting there like, wait, what? And you are genuinely concerned and confused and a little bit scared for what's going to happen. But most importantly, you are hooked into wanting to know what is going to happen next. And I think that's what a great TV show does. For me, that's what I really loved about Loki and WandaVision. I had no idea what was coming next. They threw so many twists and turns, and they ended each episode with us really wanting more, wanting to know what was going to happen next. That is something that we actually didn't have with She-Hulk. It was kind of a different story each time that we saw an episode of She-Hulk. Eventually did kind of connect a little bit more, but that is something that I've missed with these Disney Plus shows, and this really does bring that back. You want more. You don't want the episode to end. You want the next episode right away, and you're just dying to know what is gonna happen. How is this going to end? Are people gonna die? Who is really a Skrull? Who's not a Skrull? Have any of the Avengers been Skrull? It's honestly really fun to think about, which is really interesting because this is a very serious show, which I do enjoy about it. And the cast just shines. They really do. The cast shines in this. The cast is phenomenal. Everybody does an insane job. I mean, it's Emilia Clarke, it's Samuel L. Jackson, it's Ben Mendelsohn, Kobe Smulders. I mean, the cast is just incredible. They do what they do. They act and they're amazing at it. They draw you in to this world with their characters. And for the future episodes, I am expecting a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of surprises because we've already got them in the first 2 episodes. And I gotta say, some of them are pretty big. Obviously, some bigger than others, and again, no spoilers, but I couldn't really believe that some things were actually happening. And even now, you don't really know what is true or not because one thing could happen to a character and you're like, well, was that actually the character? Did this character actually just do that, or was it a Skrull pretending to be that character who did that? And that's the threat. That's the big threat, is that literally anybody you know, if you're Nick Fury, anyone you know could be a Skrull. Maria Hill, Everett Ross, Talos himself. And the cool part is that you do see the Skrull shapeshift into a lot of different people, so it makes it very apparent, hey, you never know. And we don't ever know, so that's really a cool thing there. We're kind of right alongside of Nick Fury there, where Nick Fury goes, I can't trust anybody, and we're like, yeah, you really can't trust anybody. So overall, I think the first 2 episodes, I think they were great. Again, they're a little slower paced, but they are very intense, and they really have you on the edge of your seat, and they really are making you want more and making you wonder what exactly is going to happen. So I really enjoyed that. I thought they were a great watch. I think the story is fantastic so far. The action scenes that we did get are fantastic. I have zero problem with anything visually that we saw. I think it was all great. I really don't have any complaints. This is exactly what I expected from it. I think it's going to be exactly what a lot of fans expect from it, but even better because I think the story is a little bit better than I expected it to be. And I gotta say, I'm hooked. I'm really wondering what is going to be happening, and I think a lot of fans are going to be as well. So it's great so far. Again, can't speak for the rest of the series, but the first 2 episodes, fantastic so far. Can't wait to see the rest. Let me know how excited you are for Secret Invasion in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the MCU and enter our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, and some DC items as well. Winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.